Here in Utah, on average, we appreciated just under 11%. Depending on where you look at it, some folks say is from 8 to 12 or 13%. So anyway, let's just take the 10% there. Say you own a $300,000 duplex, which is almost impossible to find now here in the county. But say you owned a $3,000 duplex. So on that 10%, just on your increase, you made $30,000 there. Hi guys, I'm Terry Bailey, and I'm on a journey to learn about everything real estate. Join us in this video where we dive into our next topic. Alrighty, I'm excited to jump into this video. Today we're going to be talking about flipping flips. I get a lot of questions regarding flips, so I did a video about a year and a half ago, and I'm going to dive right in and start up on a new video because my perspective's changed a little bit in regards to flips. Historically, I lean toward buy and hold, and I still lean toward that much more than I do flipping when it comes to real estate investing. The reason being, it's just time. Flipping requires a lot of time. It requires looking over the property. It requires knowing what's a good deal, and it requires a lot of things that we're going to discuss a little bit further in our next video. But overall, flipping is very intense. When it comes to buy and hold, if you buy in a good market and if you find a place that has, pretty consistent rental capacity and you have a good amount of people who are there, you can usually keep it rented and you can usually make a little bit every so often. And then as things appreciate, you do well. Here in Utah, on average, we appreciated just under 11%. Depending on where you look at it, some folks say is from 8 to 12 or 13%. So anyway, let's just take the 10% there. Say you own a $300,000 duplex, which is almost impossible to find now here in the county. But say you owned a $3,000 duplex. So on that 10%, just on your increase, you made $30,000 there, right? And then if you're getting an interest rate like what we're looking at now, then you probably paid off $7,000 of it. And then all you had to do is get a decent tenant in there, maybe do a little bit of maintenance and a little bit of repairs, but overall not too intensive. And you made, between cash flow, between appreciation, between your tax benefits and your debt pay down, I don't know, maybe you made around $40,000 on this one investment, bought it, say 20% down, you put in 60 and made 40. And you did very, very little work. And the amount of time that it took was much, much less. So that's still why I lean more toward buy and hold. And historically, I said, flippers do okay. They flip a property and it's hard to find something on market. And I will still say this, finding a property to flip that's on market is very, very difficult because there's tons and tons of eyeballs looking for good deals, tons of people wanting to flip or tons of people wanting to do something like that. So there's still a very high demand of that taking place. But the thing that I think shifted my paradigm a little bit there was working with off-market deals. Sometimes there's folks who are selling for sale by owner, that they're not really listing their house on the market or with an agent. And that's what they're looking to sell. And if that's the price that they're looking to sell and they're okay with that, and then you're comfortable with the price that you can get there, then you have a little bit more play. And then it does make sense, Or sometimes folks are just in a situation where for X or Y reason, they need a deal to go cash. So if you're going to be flipping, you can pay hard money fees, which again, we'll dive deep into that in another video. But long story short, you can pay a little bit extra so you're not using conventional financing and you're using hard money. And with that hard money, you can buy the property. And if it's a good enough deal, and because you're paying cash for it, then there you have some instant equity. And with that instant equity, then you fix it up and make it nice and pretty. And then you open the net so wide that a lot of people like to see it. Because there is some truth to that. Ugly houses, not a lot of people want to take that on. Pretty houses that are finished and they look nice, and everyone wants to take those on because they don't want to go through a lot of the hassle. So flipping, if done right, and that's probably the biggest key and the biggest thing I can touch on, if done right, can come out and be a pretty good investment. I've seen and I've been working more and more often with folks who are doing it. And you just also have to make sure your criteria is very clear. Again, in this video, I don't want to dive in super deep into, after repair value, which is probably one of the most important metrics when you're looking at a flip. Overall, I just want to say in this video, if you want to learn to flip, you have to make sure that you're very, very clear on what you want, what you're looking to do, what your numbers are, what your processes are, and then dive deep. And the last question that I think most folks will ask is flipping right for me? Should I be flipping? And I don't have an answer to that question. The way I'd answer that question is just asking you a whole lot of questions. Is how much time do you want to dedicate to this? How are you going to be finding your deals? How are you going to be analyzing them? And then going in, again, I could sit here and ask you questions and questions and questions and questions. And then you kind of decide what investment strategy works for you. But this is just a little intro. And if anything that we said here may sound good, then please watch our next videos. I do want to give a couple real quick numbers on what I think a reasonable expectation is. I think if you're walking away with about 10% of your ARV, your after repair value, then it's a pretty good deal. And that's net. That's after you're paying hard money. That's after you're paying realtor fees. That's after you're paying obviously your repair value on it. That's after you're paying your hard money. That's after you pay all of those things. If you walk away with 10%, in my opinion, that's a pretty good deal. So you have to analyze your numbers pretty well, but 10% of a $500,000 home is $50,000. You do that, and with 4 or 5 flips a year, you can have a pretty healthy income. So flipping can be really good. Again, going back to the question is, it all depends on what you're looking to do, what you can do, what systems you have. And in our next videos, we're going to be interviewing a couple different flippers and going over what their strategies are. And then you guys can kind of evaluate from there to see, is it something I want to learn more about? And if you do, feel free to reach out, and we'd love to connect and have those conversations. Thanks so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.